Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a minute. You want to hear a life crisis? Well, you're going to hear mine. But I felt like I was finally ready to share what's been going on. I'll be showing some pragmatic gameplay. If you don't want spoilers, you can just click off the tab and just go do something else as you listen to me. Anyway, the last time we talked, I showed you guys that 4 month art grind I was on, and to be perfectly honest with you, I stopped. I've completely stopped. I'm not even doing art right now. Like I haven't picked up a stylus like since the last time I did that video. Uh, I know that sounds like a letdown, but that's honestly just how I'm wired. My brain just hits a point where it's like, no, do something else, please. So yeah, I tend to hyper fixate on things for a few months, maybe a year or two. The longest I ever stuck with anything was my Fables of Yui project. I worked on that game for like 2 years, but eventually I just moved on. One week, I'm obsessed with art. The next, I'm building a desk from scratch because I thought woodworking was cool. Woodworking was cool. I'm having a fumble with my words right now. I thought woodworking was cool, and I actually still use a desk, by the way. It's pretty cool. Um, yeah, I don't know if it's an autism thing, but I'm going to treat it like a superpower because that sounds super cool. But um, I love exploring new skills. If you haven't figured that out already, and I've stopped forcing myself to stick to things once the spark is gone. And I know it's inefficient, but yeah, it is what it is. Um, while I've been jumping between hobbies, the world has, been getting heavy, unfortunately. We're dealing with wars, gas prices increasing. We got this AI driving up prices, like our freaking computer parts. People can't build computers anymore. Subscriptions, we're going that now. PlayStation's introducing leasing because their consoles are getting so expensive. And I don't know, jeez, this is why hobbies are so cool. It helps me escape. It really does. I get to learn these new things. I get to just freaking tune out the world and just focus on my craft. And my craft is what keeps me walking today. It really does. I look at my friends and it's a mixed bag, really. Some are doing great during all this, making a killing. My friend's getting married. Yeah, I could probably go to his thing whenever he's going to get that settled. And anyway, others, unfortunately, are really struggling. I'm currently making a few bucks above minimum wage in Arizona, and let me tell you, that doesn't. I mean, let me tell you, that doesn't get you much. Living on my own, renting or buying a house just is not feasible in this economy whatsoever. Um, because of that, I'm still living with my parents, my family, my kazoku. That's family in Japanese. You learned a new word. Yeah, there used to be a stigma that of people saying, "You're almost 30. I got a life. I go to college. You bitch." Yeah, but honestly, I think college is an absolute scam for a lot of people now. I've seen way too many people go into massive debt only to realize they still can't find a job. I'm only the idea that a degree is the only way up. I'm over the idea. The biggest wake up call though, wasn't the economy, it was myself. I've had a serious spending problem for a long time, and it was absolutely neutering my future. If I haven't spent the way I did last year, if I haven't spent the whole time these past years of how bad my habit was, if I haven't had that bad habit for such a long time, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I was just throwing money away. So it's taken a lot of discipline to start breaking those habits. I've started taking my finances seriously now by using software to forecast my life, my financial life. For anyone in the same boat, I really recommend MoneyWiz. It's on Mac, iPhone, or Windows. And if you don't like MoneyWiz for some reason, there's also HomeBake. It's open source, and I'm not sponsored, by the way. I just think these are really good software I've tried, and I've bounced around, and I'm really stuck on MoneyWiz. It's pretty cool because I have a MacBook and MoneyWiz. It's pretty cool. Yeah, seeing the numbers on a spreadsheet instead of just guessing had changed everything. Seeing what I could have in the future if I just stop buying junk is the best motivation I've ever had to stay disciplined. I'm finally taking the reins. It's one step at a time. So, what's the actual plan? I've decided I wanted a skilled labor job. And I know people are going to scoff at labor. It's like, oh, labor, liberal. It's one of the few ways left to get a guaranteed good income without the college degree debt trap. It really is. I looked at tech and AI, but that industry feels too shaky. One trend changes, and suddenly everyone is fearing for their jobs. I mean, it seems like programming is kind of doing it, but I'm starting to notice that it's not starting to become like a well paid job these days, and I've noticed that junior jobs are just now suddenly becoming impossible to partake in because the job market's kind of cheeks right now. So yeah. Anyway, uh, yeah. Since I already work in an airport environment, it's a no brainer. So by the time I'm 30, I would have saved enough to go to an aircraft mechanic school in Las Vegas. It's close by, the pay is great, and the demand is high, and it's been high. And my goal is to financially be comfortable, find a partner, and eventually have a kid. I've explored art, music, and programming, but none of them just, I believe, won't offer me the stability I need to build a family. So I'll keep this as hobbies, but for my main life, I need something recession proof. This Mindshift shift is also why I sold my Nintendo Switch too. Yeah. I'm sorry to the Air Kirby Rider people and the Splatoon fans, whatever. Just wasn't using it enough. It just sat there collecting dust for like three, three-ish. No, it was going to be 3 months. I realized I was only keeping it because of nostalgia bait. Now, I sold it to a friend, so his wife, could play Tomodachi like Tomodachi life. It's in a better home now. I read this book. It was this tidy book I got on Amazon. It's a really good book actually. No, it's about tidying, but the way of thinking of like seeing objects as living things. And I just realized that, yeah, the Switch would have a better life with an owner who would actually use it. So, yeah, gaming is becoming less of a fundamental hobby for me as I mature. Yeah, I'm more interested in reality these days. That being said, about the spending thing, despite all the talk about me saving, I am planning a very big, irresponsible expense, a week-long trip in Japan. It's going to cost me around $4,000 maybe to pay for myself and two other tickets. Well, a ticket and a half. I have a friend pitching it. It's for me to pay for my, yeah. It's for that, and my family members are pitching and shit. Okay, they're getting all the tickets. I'm paying for two people. Right? It sounds crazy, but life is finite. It really is. We take that for granted until we get older. My parents aren't getting any younger. They're probably not be around here for like 10, 20 years. Like something's gonna happen to them. But that being said, nobody in my family has ever had a chance to travel outside of North America. Mexico just not count because you are in the same continent. Doesn't count. It's not the same vibe. I want to be the one who can make a difference and actually, have them have a great time and that they won't forget. And because of that, I'm also learning Japanese. Well, I mean, I've been learning for 5 years now, but I've always been at this rough N5 level because I haven't been consistent, honestly. Because, like I said, I always stick to something. But no, I'll be studying for the next 10 months. So, yeah, it's starting to click now. Going there isn't just going to be a vacation, though. It isn't just a vacation. It's an accumulation of years of interest and a chance to give my family a memory that will last forever. So I'm going to be doing a lot of itinerary work for the next 10 months and preparing them. So I have a lot of work to do. But that being said, we're going to conclude. I'm I'm going to I'm 26, turning 27 February. The next year, February. Sometimes I feel like I'm too late to the game, but then I see people in the 30s and 40s who are still figuring it out. So I have time to put 20 years into a craft and build a legacy. I'm finally taking the reins. I'm handling my money. I'm choosing a stable career, and I'm focusing on my family. As for the channel, it's going to keep being whatever I'm interested in. I might even do vlogs or do a documentary style video about the Japan trip. But yeah, no, I think that's all I have to say. Thanks for sticking around, and just stay tuned for whatever else I'm gonna do, because really I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah, bye.